We were underwriting deals. Bruce and Jack were talking to the investors, and they just weren't really excited about Phoenix anymore. They thought that Phoenix was nearing some sort of peak. Looking back, we should have bought everything in Phoenix. So we started to look at Tucson. We fell in love with it and started making a lot of offers. There was a lot of properties that needed rehabbing. That excited us with our history of heavy lift properties. That first few that we did, we used a general contractor, but from there, Nate was saying, hey, I can do this just as efficient, if not more efficient, for a lower cost. When we went to Tucson, we actually went in with a whirlwind. So we came in, we bought a whole bunch of properties. People were starting to question, who are we? What are we doing? Main things that we were looking for, properties that were owned for a long time that were not maintained. That was our specialty, because that came from our background in wholesaling. We always like to find that house on the block that was in the worst condition. So that way, when that property gets renovated, either by us, which we didn't do many renovations, most of the time it was by the investors or the homeowners that bought from us, slowly the neighborhood goes up in value because you clean up the worst one, all of a sudden more people will be more likely to renovate their properties. So that was what we really did. We drive around and just try to find the worst properties that were structurally sound.
And it's been just a cash cow for him. So it was a win-win. We had a seller that wanted to sell, and then 11 months later, a buyer who wanted to buy. Everybody was happy. The seller was happy. We made some decent cash on it. We were happy, and the buyer is excited. So to me, it's great when all parties throughout the cycle of a project are really happy with what they have.
We were able to come in with private bridge financing, which is all asset-based. We would come in with no financing contingencies, short due diligence periods, short-ish closing periods, high earnest money. We didn't have any outs. If we didn't close on the closing date, the seller got our earnest money because we didn't have financing contingencies.
You got to also think about where we came from. Everything we did was buying something that was completely ugly and destroyed and turning it into something special. So that mentality carried through. Impact investing, people talk about that. It's kind of a buzzword again. We like to impact communities, like to impact the residents, and take care of the investors.
There was a lot of properties that needed rehabbing. That excited us.